Hi everybody, it's Kris here from the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. Just to let you know, as always, this podcast is now part of the 90-Minute Football Network and proudly sponsored by www.pt-4-u.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel and the All With Smiling Faces podcast. As you can see, Mark Walker's here, Deka's here, and Mr. Besty here. All four. You're right. You just sound like a goat.
Good.
He's delirious because he's back.
I am. This is nice.
It is nice. It's not very often we're all here at the same time these days. But we're here.
Where was it last week?
Both these were away last week.
Oh, Ben was on operation. He's kidding.
Ben was on operation.
Right. Yeah, he's all right.
I can't believe you missed it for that, to be honest.
I know. That's how it is, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, all four are back in what is going to be a massive, massive week for Newcastle United. Huge week coming up. Before we get going, thank you everyone for tuning in. We are going to start with the raffle for the football. So it's something which is being up for raffle the last 3 weeks, Deka? 2-3 weeks?
2 weeks, isn't it? Just over 2 weeks, yes. Yeah.
So it's been up on raffle. It was £5 a ticket. Deka, how many donations were there then?
Well, yes, I have some information
now.
there. Yes, so we had a total of 153 donations. So thank you for that. Totaling 306 numbers that have gone into the draw tonight. To get some other important numbers, just also, I've printed off every single number and name. So, you know, I'm organised tonight. We raised £1,540 for the
Brilliant,
ball,
that, isn't it?
which is absolutely amazing. And I need to make a special little announcement for Patrick Leonard. So when the donations were around about, I think it was 1,200 or so, he said that he would, at the end, get it to 1,500. So we surpassed that. We got 1,540. So today, Patrick has sent across £360. Which is unbelievable. So, Patrick, you're a legend. So we've actually then getting a total of £1,900, which I think is incredible, right?
Brilliant.
Incredible.
Feels like it could have given an extra 100.
Patrick, if you're listening, now I do have a message.
Was that you volunteering there, Besty?
Yeah.
I'm getting paid until midnight. So.
That'll do it. All right. I've got a message from Auntie Debs here. Give us 2 seconds to find it. She just wants to thank everyone, basically. Fraser, Debs, Alex and Ryan would like to pass on their thanks to everyone who have bought a ticket and supported their fundraising for Fraser. A huge thanks and admiration to Lee Gray for donating the prize and making this event possible. To Lisa, that's my wife, for her brilliant organisation skills in setting up the ticket and the payment system. And a thanks to Kris, Mark, Besty and all the lads from Gallowgateshots for promoting the football over the past few weeks. Good luck to everyone who is a ticket holder. We applaud you and a huge thanks again. So
It's been an
brilliant,
absolute top effort. Like, it really has. What was it, a couple of weeks ago when you first announced the deck? I was on around 400 quid or thereabouts.
Well, no, to be honest, it was about 180. And then after we did the Monday night, I got home and then all of a sudden, you know, like everyone was donating in, which has just been amazing. It took me breath away, to be honest, and all my family are the same. You're kind of like, you don't want to put a figure on it, do you, in your mind? But I was thinking, if we could get 500, you know what I mean? And we've absolutely blown out the water. So thank you so much to everybody. Really.
I think one of the thing that we'll have to take from this is obviously this was a fundraiser for a member of Deka's family, but after this fundraiser is finished, it's done now, and we're raffling this out. There's still charities out there
of course
that you can donate money to help for people out that are in a similar situation.
Yes,
this one was obviously close to our heart. Mm-hmm. So, Deka, shall we get straight in with?
I think we should. Yes. I think we've got something quite nice here.
We do. Yeah. So, what's going to be happening? We're going to put something on the screen, which is like a Wheel of Fortune style.
This is really fancy, isn't it?
It is. So you will see that on screen. You'll see us in the corner, and it's going to be numbers 1 to 306.
306. Oh, can I also just say that Patrick, for all he donated £360, did not want to be entered into the draw. So I think that's also amazing as well. So
yeah. Let's get down to it. So bear with us 2 seconds, because I've got to mess about with this.
If this works, it'll be impressive.
Good luck, everybody.
Yes, good luck.
I'll move my phone so you can all see it. So
I'm fully invested in this
to the stream.
Hey, look, that's really fancy, isn't it?
And we'll stick us in the corner. Yeah, we're there now. Right, so we have our producer Adam in the background,
Who's he?
ready to spin the number. So, Adam, whenever you're ready, hit that spin button.
I feel like Michael McIntyre on a Saturday night now. Spin the wheel.
So, the winning number, as everyone is about to see,
That was quick.
is number 158.
I'm looking through
Deka's
here.
looking through his list of numbers.
Looking for number one.
158 is Josh McAloon. McAloon, yeah.
McAloon.
McAloon, I'd say.
We've absolutely murdered your
Yeah,
name, mate. I'm
I do
sorry.
apologise.
I
Josh
think he
McAloon.
follows me. I think he does
Josh
follow.
McAloon, that right?
Aye, Josh McAloon.
McAloon, yes.
I'm
Or
sure.
McLoon?
I'm sure he follows me. He might actually be in the Telegram group.
Oh, well.
I recognise the name. I do recognise the name.
Have a look.
Well done, Josh. The ball is yours. And if you live local, Deka's going to deliver it here.
I am, yes. So
Right
just-
now, so let us know as we go live with Deka.
Over the garden fence.
if you just reach out to either Gallowgateshots or even myself directly, we'll organise getting the ball to you. Thank you very much. Yes, and obviously just thank everyone for sharing it and stuff, giving
Have
the
we not
donations.
got anything else we can raffle off tonight as well?
You.
Don't think of anything, but thanks very much, guys, and Team Fraser. Thank you very much.
All the best. Well done.
All the best, Fraser.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody.
Top
who has been
effort.
donating
Just
and
goes to
tuning in.
show you that we've got the best viewers.
We really have.
It's
We
absolutely
really have.
remarkable. Like I said, absolutely top effort. Let's get down to business then, boys. Newcastle United. Let's put this on a downer. I'm talking about this, and we mentioned this last week when it was who was here last week? It was
Roger.
me,
Roger and Thomas.
Roger and Thomas.
Cannon, yeah.
And I think maybe it was a week before. I think we all went round and said, "Are you confident that we'll stay up?" And what, these questions are getting answered. And personally, I didn't expect to get anything from that Arsenal game, but I was still confident of staying up. Now I'm worried, and I don't know why, because it's a result I was expecting.
I suppose Norwich have started picking points.
Yeah.
Leeds got a draw against someone at the weekend.
Well, yeah, I know you're saying everything you've said. I understand.
Yeah.
Like, why would you be worried now when we've lost a game you were expecting to lose?
Mm.
However, was it maybe the manner of the defeat, like the performance?
Not
maybe that's-
necessarily,
is that your-
because me and Mark sat here and we done the post match patter after that Arsenal game, and I wasn't really pissed off with the result. I wasn't kicking off or anything. We've seen a lot worse from this football team.
The first half was all right, to be honest with you. It looked organised.
Going in at 0-0, you would take it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, had a shot we hit the crossbar. There was a couple of shots from distance. We didn't really create anything massively in the box. But Wilson was quite quiet for the most part. But yeah, I thought the first half was pretty decent.
Mhm.
Wasn't wonderful. It wasn't like, oh, I can't wait. This is what I want.
Mm.
The swashbuckling kind of
Yeah.
front foot football that were, gloves are off and all that carry on. Like, but yeah, I thought it was reminiscent of the first two seasons back up where they had a shape, they stuck to it. I mean, I say that Aubameyang should have scored when he hit the post, shouldn't he? I mean, that was incredible to miss that. Dubravka made a good save from the Smith Rowe. Had the volley.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a good little player, isn't he?
Good.
Great.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
footballer,
Yeah.
isn't he? Like, yeah. But yeah, the first half, I thought, this is at half time. I remember thinking, maybe a little bit lucky with the Aubameyang thing, but that's all right.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy were you to see Dubravka in goal?
At 10, he's just it's a no-brainer, and I don't hate Carl Darlow or like that, but he does. Sorry, Carl, but he's a bit too accident prone. His position still isn't very good for me. His kicking's not very good. He's a fantastic stopper. I think he's a better shot stopper than Dubravka is. But all around, I think Dubravka's just a better goalkeeper.
I'm in the shape of like, I'm gonna use it.
shape of what?
No,
I'm
I'm
a
gonna-
shape, love with the shape of you.
the other end of the field. If Dwight Gale was starting, right, and Wilson was back fit, I'd want Wilson straight back in. Doesn't mean I don't like Dwight Gale.
Exactly,
I don't hate Dwight
Yeah,
Gale.
yeah.
I'm just trying to balance it. Like,
You pick your best players.
Yeah, you
don't
do, don't you?
That's-
Yeah.
Right, aye.
Well, unless you're looking at the central defence, but we'll come on to that. I'm no doubt
Yeah.
sure of that happening.
So a few changes. I'll come to you, Deka, because obviously me and Mark discussed this in quite a bit of detail after the game. Changes. There's a couple of changes. Emil Kraft was in there. Somebody who I'm still debating whether or not he's a footballer. Fraser
Careful, I'll go a bit of-
started as well.
Yep.
But what were your thoughts on that? Were you shocked by anybody coming back into the pitch? Obviously, Dubravka was a no-brainer, like we've just said.
Obviously, Dubravka, of course, Kraft was a shock for a negative reason, really. I was actually pleased to see Fraser start. I was happy with that. And to be honest, I wasn't really. I was actually quite excited by the team in many ways. I did worry about centre midfield. I just feel with John Joe Shelby and Willock there, I feel as if it's not protecting very well. Does that make sense? Like there's not a hole in midfielder there where Hayden would be, for example, blah blah blah. But anyway, I just thought my fears were Richie again, and I know it seems easy to say that because what happened, but Richie was a worry for us again because I just thought that he shouldn't. I just don't think he's good enough for that position. And I know Howe's probably thinking, I've worked with you before. I obviously trust you. You've obviously been playing there for years. But personally, I don't think that side of the field always worries us.
Yeah, he's been. I think since Bruce started, I think Richie's been, with the exception of a few games Jamal Lewis had at the start of last season, Richie's kind of been first choice left wing back, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And Richie's another one. I've said it on here where I like him, but I just don't think. I think he's had his day.
I agree. I
think he did a great job in the championship. He scored, the goal against Man U, the Brackers debut, it turns out. And he's had some really big moments since he signed, but he's been here 5 seasons now. Or this is his 5th season, maybe, possibly 6th. I think that's and not a fullback either.
That's the key bit, isn't it?
Midfield as a fullback, and it's not the same for Murphy on the other side. I think Murphy's all right. He's not wonderful, but he's all right. He's not Mankio's a better shot. Emil Krapik, pardon, was there on Saturday, but Murphy's played there quite a bit. Like Mankio's, it's a no-brainer for me. I don't really.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I said on Twitter to someone about, I think it was Richie actually. I think I said, well, actually, it wasn't Richie in general. I meant certain players. I think that have just had the past the sell-by date. Do you know what I mean? I think that because people are referencing them whether we're good in a Rafa. I was like, yeah, the way, but that was 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like players have to be moved on. Like I dare say there'll be players for every other, even Man City, for example. They will have to recycle players and move them on. Do you know what I mean? Aguero, Christ, mate, would you ever think you want to get rid of Aguero? Do you know what I mean? Like it's just I'm not saying which is Aguero, by the way.
Like it happened to Tottenham with Pochettino's manager. Clubs players kind of have the golden generations, the class of '92 Man U. Eventually, it just happens. You get older, people are younger, fitter, faster, more hungry, and you move on, and that's just how it is. That's how life is, isn't it? It's not just football, like. But
you just got to tell us something. There's just a little crackle. We're trying to figure out where the crackle's coming from. If you just unplug.
Someone brought some
them one at a time. Sorry, everybody who is watching or people that are listening to the audio. We've got a little bit of crackle. We're trying to figure it out. No, it's not ridiculous.
No, but yeah, like I say, that not just every walk of life. You kind of get to that point where you've got new blood's got to come in, and Newcastle at that point now where we've done it a few times on this podcast. People do it all the time where they say, such and such played in the championship and he's still there. We've got Kieran Clark, Darlow, who hasn't played. We have Richie, Gale's in the squad still, Shelby, Hayden. A lot of players who were there even for relegation. And it's like, well, there just hasn't been that kind of refresh. The playing for the most part, there
has been
players come in, but and I think that's one of the reasons that we're in the trouble that we're in.
Well, I think when you look at it, I keep looking in the back 4 or 5 or however many you play. It's the same faces, isn't it? Really, I mean, and 2 of them that played on Saturday again isn't their natural position. You've got Murphy playing right wing back again, and I tries and all the rest of it. But you're talking this is the top level. Well, is what we're Premier League and Richie's exactly the same. He's not going to be good enough, and for all, and I think was it Luke Edwards that put it on? I think it was that said like you can have change the days off, you can have all these training methods, and which is great, but at the same time there is certain players there that just aren't good enough.
He's right there, Luke. And I think Luke's always quite mischievous. I
agree.
A hidden or a between the lines to be read with Luke.
That Rafa Everton comment, by the way, was that, wasn't it?
It was so on the nose, that. But he's having a bad time in Everton, Rafa. The fans are the 14th. I think the fans are entitled to be upset. The money they've spent, the season that they'd hoped they'd have. I don't think it's going well for him. So that's fair play.
Yeah. But he's doing it like if that had been Wolves with Nuno, I don't think he would have put Nuno. Well, no. He's doing it for that reason.
It's the same as when Steve Bruce last season was talking about the mighty Rafa or whatever it was.
Yes.
And it's the same thing. It's the same kind of you compare,
Yes.
It's just silly stuff but it's Luke he likes a little bit of a set too, doesn't he, on Twitter? But going back to when Kris was saying, you're confident we'll stay up earlier on. I'm less confident. I still think. I mean, I don't think that this week coming up, Norwich tomorrow and Burnley on Saturday, is quite as make or break as.
I was going to ask you this because you are on the you know when people say it's a must win.
It's not a must win.
Yeah, you have that opinion. So I was going to ask as a change with this one coming.
It's more important,
right?
Because of the result they got. They're always going to lose. Yes, on Saturday. It's more important because I haven't picked up points yet.
Yeah.
And Norwich have started winning because they've got Dean Smith in, who's a good manager.
He is.
Did really well at. Not Dean Smith, beg pardon. It is. Is Dean Smith in it? Sorry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Did really well at Villa, I thought, until quite recently when it went a bit awry. But
yeah,
they're not must wins. You don't get must wins at this point in the season. You get games that it's more important to win than if it was Man City and Chelsea. You'd gone like, well, you don't. That they're not the teams that are in direct competition with that part of the table. But
it's as close as a must win as I think there's ever been.
It's as close at this point in the season, early December. I've never. It's more important than the games like Leeds was the first game last December. It's more important than that because
we haven't won yet, type of thing.
The
situation.
We must start getting wins soon.
Yeah. And I guess you're looking at the opposition in that we're at home, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because obviously the teams to come are horrific. I mean, Man Cities and stuff like that will just get ripped apart. You would think anyway.
Probably, but there again, we've done it. I mean,
you're right. No, you're right.
Look, there's points there. There's points to be won.
I don't apologise for the last 10 minutes because I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. My brain's been so focused.
I've been
well, to be fair, like I mean, you said it right at the start around the confidence level things, and I think it's pretty much as we said. Like Saturday was a free hit, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
We weren't expected to win. I don't think we've ever won down at the Emirates.
Yeah,
I've had one win maybe.
Chris Hughton manager. Andy Carroll scored. We're in the white.
But we very very rarely get anything from there, even at Highbury.
I think we'd
back in the day
1 in 17.
Yeah, so it's one that you like you say you don't expect to pick anything up. But I think the fact that the teams in and around us at the bottom have picked up results is what is then probably adding to your feeling, Chris, of that little bit more. Oh, I'm a bit worried now that we're going to go down.
I forgot how I feel already, if I'm being honest with you. But I think, like I said at the very start of this, it's such a huge week. This like the next two games for us. It was me and Besty. Why can't I go? It
was you and somebody.
Deka. You and Deka.
You and Deka.
I can't do it. I'm just going to call it a night. And that's through as that. So me and Deka were talking about this before he came in, saying tomorrow's game is massive. Never mind the Burnley game after it. But if you don't pick 3 points up tomorrow, I'm shitting my pants.
Yeah. That's where I am.
Besty's confident. I can see it in his eyes.
I don't know if I'm confident or if I'm just not that bothered about going down. Maybe.
Well, that's something I did want to come on to actually. Yeah, that's a good point because I'm actually not. Surprisingly, I'm not really fussed.
Nah.
And if that had been Mike Ashley, I would have thought it's the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
If we go down because we'd end up going to League One, etc., etc. But I feel as if we go down this time, oh well, so be it. We'll just have a wash and come back up, type of thing. You know what I mean?
That's pretty much what George said when he was on a month or two ago. He said what relegation does, it just puts him back a year.
Yeah.
Which is...
You don't want to go back a year, like...
No, I'd rather not go down, don't get us wrong. I'm not sitting here going out. And because we still don't know that there's talks today about that might leave it direct with football till after the January window. So there's still...
What's your thoughts on that, just because you brought it up?
What are my thoughts? I would like it... I don't understand why when the same... I think it was The Athletic, the article I saw shared, might be wrong, but it said that... forgive us, Emanolo, the fellow who's at Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Apparently, he's
Michael. Yeah.
He apparently he's got it all a plan put together, and everything. So if they want him, and he's got, why not just appoint him? I don't really get that. But things aren't as simple as it's not Football Manager or FIFA, is it? You know, you kind of just kind of.
So just obviously, I'll go through this question because Josh Stockton has donated £10 for the question to be read. Thanks, Josh. He says,
Josh.
I'll come to you, Mark. If the rumours of Jones and Fernandez falling out are true, are you worried about Jones having too much power over who gets picked in the team? Or do you think Howe just doesn't rate him as a centre-back?
He cannot watch him and not rate him as a centre-back.
He's being very complimentary of him.
Yeah, he's by far the best centre-back that we've got at the club at the minute as a defender. The comments that he's came out today are very positive. There's obviously a lot of talk on social media amongst us around why he isn't playing. because we can't understand it as fans of the team watching it and knowing what he's capable of. The only thing, the kind of looking at it is, was he influenced by Jones's decision? Because there has to have been something gone on in the background, and I know there was like little rumours about maybe Freddy being critical of the formations, the way we were playing and stuff like that under Bruce, and then subsequently
Who wasn't
when Jones took over. But you would hope in the time that Eddie Howe has been there that he would actually be able to see him out on the training field. Obviously, he said that he hasn't seen him play physically as when the time that he's been manager.
I think what we need to realise though is there's a lot of people, and I'm one of them, keeps on mentioning Fernandez. Fernandez is not the saviour of that defence.
No,
I'm telling you now.
He's got a mistake in him. I've seen him have some shocking games. So it's not. Yeah. It's not like fucking Franz Beckenbauer coming back in and all of a sudden like everyone. Oh, this is better. He's still, he's a full effort. He got relegated with Swans. He's a good centre half.
I agree with Morg. He's probably our best centre back.
I agree with that as well.
I love Freddy.
But do you think sometimes, we've had this discussion so many times, that when players don't play, they get better in our eyes?
I think that's right.
In our eyes, exactly, and obviously when you're shipping goals left, right, and centre, it's easy to go. He'll solve it. He'll be all right. I said Shea would be. I kept banging the drum and get Shea back. He's come back. We've been crap anyway, but still think he's better being in the side. But I think what's been more shocking about it all is the sheer sort of he's just been erased. Like, didn't Jones make a comment of when he was in his temporary charge
when he didn't put him on the bench?
He went, I wouldn't. Someone with his experience, I wouldn't sort of embarrass him by putting him on the bench. What kind of comments?
Really weird. That
that's ridiculous. What happens if Lascelles got injured? Just for, wish he would, but if he did, surely Fernandez. He watches.
We've had the next best thing, haven't we? He's out suspended.
I think this as well. Jones hasn't had a chance to look at him play and all that, and obviously he had COVID for a little while and stuff. But like, tested positive. But Howe, didn't when he was in the stands for the Brighton game that said, he's got a dossier on every Newcastle player and he knows what. Yeah. So surely he's had a look at him. He must know what he offers, what his strengths and weaknesses are. And
I agree. Do you not think Jones though, when he's come in, has went, by the way, didn't play him? Because Jones doesn't like him.
That's what I.
It seems that way.
100%. And I think Howe was, when he's come in, obviously Howe would have said to Jones, right, tell us what the lads are like. He didn't play him.
The first game or two, he's going to be relying quite heavily on the backrooms. Of course, the Steves that were there for a first week. Sure. What they've had to say, and then he'll be looking at it now. He's going to be getting his own kind of ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of people in the comment accusing Fernandez of being the mole, and that's why he's not playing. He's not the mole.
He just doesn't strike me as the type to be a mole.
We don't know him. Like I understand what you're saying, but I didn't.
He's not going to have any kind of previous relationship with. Because it's always Daily Mail and Craig Hope, isn't it? Hope. That's breaking these news. So
I think the mole's a British player.
I think it's a local brother.
You haven't got any brothers?
One of. Maybe one of them isn't here anymore for some reason.
I don't know. I'm not having that. Maybe Ian Dayton says Carroll was the mole. Probably. It's a good shout.
Carroll wasn't in the locality for quite a long time to have that relationship with Craig Hope, was he?
Cracking goal on Saturday, man.
Great goal.
Absolutely brilliant. Wonderful.
Yeah. My suspicions are on the Longstaffs and particularly their father.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good shout, you know.
A dad? I don't know. Is he that kind of bloke, is he?
Well, I would...
Mark doesn't spray paint his name
from the thing
allegedly.
I know he's at ice hockey, so I'm assuming he's a slippery customer.
Yeah. So
from the terms, the things I heard about what Sean was saying about training and stuff that I had heard from people, I've never said on here because I don't want to get anyone wrong, but it wouldn't surprise us, to be fair, if that was the case.
Apparently, so Daniel Barlow said that he was speaking to Craig Hope at the True Faith event the other week, and he stressed that the mole wasn't a player. That's what he would say.
Don't give it a source.
So it could be a member of staff, somebody that... Well, all right, there you go. Longstaff's dad's not a player.
Maybe it was Graham Jones and Fernandez was upset about it.
Where are we going with this? Right.
But I can't see him being left out for that. This tomorrow night is a massive one. It's a hell of a statement if he leaves Fernandez out again. Like, because
who would you play if you did?
Clark, the will.
But that's
Shea in the middle.
Clark or Graff, isn't it? And it just gives me nightmares.
It's dumb fit.
No. I honestly cannot see him for a long time.
The two players which are suspended are Jamal Lascelles and Matt Ritchie.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Lewis coming back in. Mark, what's your thoughts on that, Deka? Will it be Lewis coming straight back in? You didn't hear what I said there, did
No,
you?
oh, no, well, Lewis has to come in.
Okay.
I mean, who else are you going to play?
He's only fit left back.
I think. Do you know what I would
Unless
love
he
to
plays
see?
Fraser there again.
Well, yeah, that was
Because
a
he
bit brutish
put him
towards the
there
end, wasn't it?
second half.
That was
didn't
a bit brutish towards the end, I thought. But anyway, I would love to see we go to 4 at the back. Honestly, I would. 4 at the back.
Well, we started that way on Saturday.
Well, do you think so?
Yeah, well, 100%.
To me, it was
4-4-3-3, and
I'd
then
just seen 11 at the back. I've seen, but it was. I'd love to see we go 4 at the back. And I'm not. This sounds really what's the word? Like old school mentality, like Sunday League. Like let's get at them. And I know the game is more than that. I appreciate that, but I just feel with you being at home, I'd love to see we try and get an extra player in midfield. To be really, I'd love to see Almiron, for example, play as a 10 behind Wilson. Or
When
something.
he came on, didn't he?
He did a bit headless chicken-ish at times, if that's the right term.
That's a term that everybody else uses.
See, this is I really struggle with the formation at times, right? If I'm being honest, because part of us would love to say Almiron behind Wilson, okay, and say Joe and Saint. Is this the one we've kind of always wanted to see for a bit? But then another part of us would love to see 3 in midfield with Hayden being in there alongside Shelvey and Willock.
Yeah,
I would love to see the 3 of them there because I think I'm actually quite surprised Hayden hasn't been getting a game. As much as I'm probably the most negative about Hayden on this table.
He came on for like 2 minutes or something like that.
And he hasn't had a start on that, and he's playing Shelvey and Willock, and I think it's quite a passive midfield. To be honest, in my eyes, none of them are put a foot in for you. I mean, Willock did a little bit. Shelvey, we all criticise Shelvey for not putting his foot in.
Shelvey for me though against Arsenal, Shelvey gets man of the match for me.
He was good, wasn't he? He was good. He was good.
Well,
he did.
I think he was the only one that had any real clear-cut chances. I kind of think of anybody else having
a chances that he's created himself. Really, the one like.
Well, that's the only worry, isn't it? It was all from distance, kind of hitting hopes from the edge of the box,
wasn't he? Was like even when he was just lumping the ball to him, Dubravka was just kicking it long. And ironically, when we went 2-0 down, we then started to play. I felt we started passing it from the back and we started causing them trouble.
Even the commentators mentioned that, saying why have they not started like this?
Yeah, I didn't understand.
It's something.
But we made changes. Miggy came on, didn't he? And he then gives us that energy and the drive to get forward that we'd been missing because, like, Saint is the one that you're looking for to do that, and for the majority of that game, he was just anonymous. He just wasn't. He wasn't there.
I'll ask you this, Besty, because once again, me and Mark spoke about this, and it was in the WhatsApp group. So the penalty shouts. Mm-hmm. There was a few in the game. I think 3 or 4, to be fair. A couple of them were our way. So first of all, the hold of Fabian Schär.
I thought that was I think that's a penalty.
It's been given against us this season at some point. I think Lascelles dragged somebody to the ground by doing a similar sort of thing.
I think that is, It was weird. Did you see Sky Sports News earlier today? Dermot
Gallagher, wasn't it?
He says,
you wouldn't say it was, though, would you?
It's weird because he says, I think it's a foul. He's lucky there. He says, but it's right that it didn't go to VAR because VAR was only there for clear and obvious errors. So he says if the referee's seen it, then he's right not to give it. But then that would be an error. So it's a penalty. That's the only one for me. The handball thing was like never, because it's gone under his body. The Wilson thing, it could be, but if that one is, then the Lascelles one on there, that is, it's a 5 stretch probably as well.
I think, Deka, with the Wilson one, I agree with Besty. I think the Fabian Schär one, 100%. You could easily say that game as a penalty these days.
Yeah. The goal that I scored, sorry, Chris, I'm talking across here. The goal that I scored.
Mark does all the time.
I know, but I like to think I'm a little bit, But the goal that I scored against that was disallowed. Sorry, Palace. The goal Palace scored, the disallowed one, that was the pull on Kieran Clark. I mean, that was more blatant, but it's the same type of thing,
The Wilson one, for me, the reason why I think that could easily get given as a penalty is the angle of it. It's not shoulder to shoulder, side to side. It's kind of from behind.
Well, I try my best anyway with penalties or fouls or whatever to say how would I feel if it was against us. Would I? Because it's very easy sometimes to go. Yeah. Like, for example, Lascelles is right. Truthfully, as soon as I see the replay, that's not a penalty. That's my instant reaction was that's not a penalty, right?
It was more shoulder to shoulder, that one.
Well, it was shoulder to
shoulder face.
Shoulder to face. But that's just because he just went in. Whereas, and this will sound daft, but the Wilson one, for me personally, that lad knew, can I get back here? And he almost looks the other way with his eyes closed and just throws a shoulder out there to try and put him off. He's not even looking at the ball. He's not even looking at Wilson. He almost just looks away for some reason. And I thought he was very lucky there. And the Schär one, in the moment, if I'm being honest, I thought, 100 penalties a game would be given if it was like that. However, when I seen the replay again, I was like, actually, that's still a penalty though. If there is 100 pens a game, it's 100 pens a game because that's a penalty.
Even though the ball's going nowhere near him, still a penalty.
And what I would also say and this really annoys us, is that if the referee gives either of them, VAR doesn't overturn them.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
But then he doesn't give them, but then VAR doesn't overturn them because it's the wrong decision. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say there?
So they're trying to say the right decision would have been made either way.
Either way, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is obviously wrong. So
It's
that's just,
the Wilson one. If that's Harry Kane, it's a penalty.
100%. Aye.
I think Kane probably buys it a bit better as well. Kane
Yeah.
would have stepped across him a bit more because that's what he does, isn't he?
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
think if that exact situation, Harry Kane gets a penalty,
He does.
and it sounds like a proper like tinfoil hat.
Do you think Aubameyang would have got a penalty? Let's say if it was Lascelles doing it. Would you say that?
I think they do. I honestly think they do.
Well,
maybe actually, yeah.
There's a comment from Dan Whitten who's saying that he doesn't think we'll get a penalty this season because the refs have been so bad for it. And I mean, I said it on Saturday in the patter that he was just, that referee was an absolute homer. The epitome of it. Every decision he gave went Arsenal's way. He was loath to.
I do
give us
I think
anything.
you're going to say it. I'll let you go. You'll say it better than I am.
I don't know if I am because I've seen a few people say that. And I didn't when I was watching it. I didn't pick up on that at all. I didn't watch my phone. I didn't
On the
have-
Arsenal game,
Mhm.
you didn't. Oh,
I don't have my phone on when I'm watching the game because it's me. Teddy's a couple minutes
Goes
behind.
upside down, isn't it?
So I put it upside down, like on charge, out of reach, and I was feeding their Ben as well. So, but not for the full 90. Hungry
He must have been hungry, like.
but yeah, I was a little bit surprised. The referee was shocking. I thought, was he?
Oh, I thought he was
I
terrible.
didn't think
I
that
thought he was terrible. Like.
Yeah, maybe he was, and I just missed it. But I didn't.
What
too
I thought
busy
you
with
were
your
going to
tits.
say, to be honest, I thought you were going to say, because I know you had this opinion where, when the takeover didn't go ahead and you were like, the Premier League's against where Masters has got a dartboard with Newcastle badge on. That type of stuff.
I was going to say something along, but
Yeah.
I'm not seriously though.
Yeah, and I thought like that. I'm not saying it's like everyone's against
Yeah.
necessarily, but I did think certainly to jump back 1 week, the game against Brentford, I thought the ref was a shocker, and I thought Arsenal was appalling. To be honest with you, I thought it was terrible.
I mean, it's a stretch to say that there's
a conspiracy.
that they're being told not to
It's
give
the
us
cartel.
decisions, but it's just frustrating when you. For me, the share one was a no brainer.
Yeah.
Like that was the biggest one for me. The Wilson one, I'm 50-50 with it. But
Yeah, I'm
just-
kind of the same. I'm not that bothered by it not being given. But had it been given, I wouldn't have
Complained,
Yeah,
Well,
you know.
you're not getting it.
But I think if the referees were that,
Right.
if they're kind of the knee deep in skullduggery and Qatari money and all that carry on, then they would have got the penalty at the end.
Aye,
I think, unless because it was already 2-0 at that point, they've gone like
didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought sorry.
No, carry on, mate.
Just because I haven't spoken really Besty at all about it. Because so other than the first half, you thought was okay, which I actually was alright with. I thought Arsenal had all the ball, but
Reasonable
they
enough.
did nothing with it. To be honest, other than the one chance. we
Yeah,
mentioned.
I thought we kept our shape pretty well. We're
Yeah.
very well organised. Dubravka didn't have a huge amount to do. He made
No.
that one save immediately before Aubameyang hit the post.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't really remember.
Free kick.
Even that was for the cameras a bit.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Shelby's was a good save from their keeper.
That was save that,
unbelievable save.
A
That
couple
was
of inches to
really
the
good.
right, it's a goal.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
He just fingers it onto the crossbar, doesn't he?
Oh,
does he really?
Fingertips.
Saturday.
As soon as he said fingers, I knew I was there.
Fingertips it onto the bar.
What me worry all the way through the first half though was if Arsenal turn up the tempo, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I felt them were just plodding around, and we were fine with that. We were getting into shape, everything was great.
Mind you, I was still quite angry at half time. Like,
Well, I was because the main reason was it was we're formed. What's the word I said? We just went to type. We're just Wilson
Exactly what I
just
said.
completely
Yeah, yeah.
starved to death.
Yeah.
We're kicking it long for no reason whatsoever. We look so nervous in possession, and that's what annoyed us. That was what annoyed us. Yes, we looked in shape. We didn't really look in trouble, but bloody hell, man, we've got to be doing better when we get the ball. We have to be able
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
string past together.
Yeah, we
you know
do.
what I mean. It was very much like if Sane didn't play well, which he didn't, but if Sane didn't play well, we weren't going to offer anything in that game
Very
because
true.
it was giving it to him, and obviously,
As we said, with Shelby having it, that one I hit the crossbar. There was that one that immediately afterwards that was kind of saved low down like a minute later through the bodies, and that was more or less all we offered in the first half, pretty much
Yeah.
all game, wasn't it really? So yeah, it's kind of we're still in the grace period a bit where the takeover's nearly 2 months ago now. Bruce has been gone a little while. Eddie Howe's had a couple of weeks at the international break, and you kind of think, well, I would like to, and I'm not going to start stating Eddie Howe when he must go, but I would like to have seen a little bit more so far from him.
yes, I do
I'm
agree.
not too enthused by the start.
In terms of, you would think you get a bigger bounce. I thought it would have beaten Brentford. I have to be fair.
Yeah.
Do you
I know they've just been
think-
empty.
They'd lost 4 in a row, hadn't they, before?
Do you think it's happened at such a shit time as well? Because obviously Villa sacked their manager, Norwich sacked their manager, we sacked our manager, so everybody's in the same situation once again. The rest of the teams have picked the points up, and we're sat here thinking, fuck.
We're cursed.
We
We're cursed.
Howe before
That's what I mean.
Gerrard and...
But I think
Oh,
it was the first game, was still the first, like,
Yeah.
because Eddie Howe was in the stands only for the first one.
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
So I think
And
they
then
all
you-
had the same game on the same weekend.
Yeah.
Because Gerrard got the 3 points. Who was it? Paul Smith?
Dean Smith.
Dean Smith.
Dean
Oh,
Smith,
Paul
yeah. Paul
Smith.
Smith.
Dean Smith.
Yeah, we're
he
going-
got the 3 points.
Crystal
Smith
Palace.
managed to fashion 3 points for Norwich.
Isn't his
Design
logo
some new
a
tactics.
zebra?
It's like
It is a
colourful-
zebra, right?
Colourful horse, isn't it? Oh, no, it is a zebra. Colourful
is.
zebra, though.
So
But
Dean
it's,
Smith and
I-
Gerrard get 3 points from their first games.
Yeah.
And we get a point against Brentford. And it was a great game. It really was for a neutral.
But that's
But-
the thing. It just went against us because obviously he wasn't there. He came down with COVID the day before, which
Yeah, but
How much of a difference is that?
I've heard a few people mention this COVID thing. I say Eddie Howe's had COVID, but it was only the Friday.
no. So he's had time with them on the training pitch and stuff like that. But when we were in there on Saturday, like the crowd was well up for it. Everybody's doing it, but it just gives you that little bit extra and that extra boost if you see your manager there on the touchline. And I think that maybe just took away from it a little bit, because it would have. I'm not saying he. I don't know. Well, he probably would. He would be able to interfere more in the game and influence it more, being there in person rather than watching on the telly and then having to relay
disagree a little
tactics
bit,
or whatever.
I don't know at what point it becomes the fact that we're making excuses for them.
They're just shit.
That the players,
sorry.
not how I'm not going to have as I say. Howe's not been there that long. He cannot, after 2 games, one of which is a 3-3 draw against a team that have lost every game for the last 2 months. But notwithstanding,
Let's remember, it's the Arsenal game, and we don't have a very good record at all against Arsenal.
awful record at the Emirates. But I mean, at what point? I mean, could we be sitting here in like 2 months' time having not won a game and going like, aye, but Eddie Howe, like he had that sprained ankle after like John Joe got him, and he had too many chocolates at Christmas time. And,
well, to play devil's advocate a little bit, are you then saying it's on Eddie Howe then? Because to me, then it's the players. Period.
I think.
Period.
As I said, I would have liked a better start from Howe. I think the players have ultimately got to take responsibility.
100%.
Because they're the ones that have they've straddled. Some of them have straddled the McLaren, Benitez, and what they call it.
I'd say it. I think it's harsh to say that we haven't seen an impact. That Brentford game was night and day compared to what we've seen to that point. And
Devil's advocate again. So was Leicester away last season.
it was, but we had performed in spells. I think just with the whole occasion of it, is what kind of got everybody up, the crowd up and stuff like that. And I believe we deserve to win that game.
The Brentford game.
Yeah. Bar Darlow making 2 mistakes.
That mistakes, yeah. Well, Darlow, you've got Murphy and Ritchie culpable for the same one, like, but.
Well, I want to just go back to what Mark said about, and it's a funny one. I've kind of swayed on this one. If he was there, would that have given the players and maybe the fans that extra 5%? I think so. Go over the line.
I'm not sure.
But then I also feel if we had won, ifs and buts, but if we had won the game, I reckon the players give extra 5% because Eddie Howe wasn't there and won the game because he wasn't there. And the players wanted to give it more. It's a really hard one to judge, and I think I do understand completely that. Of course, when he's there, you can have more influence on the sideline. Of course, who pathetically not say that? But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying. The bottom line here is, and I come back to what I think I said at the start was, we have players that make too many individual errors because they are just not good enough.
That's been a problem for a long time with this team.
Yeah, I mean, if you go, I mean, you could probably do this for every goal we score as well. But I honestly think probably 7 out of the last 10 goals we've conceded are individual errors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either Lascelles has given daft penalties or daft free kicks, or Richie's playing someone on side. Yeah. It's the same thing week in, week out, and until them personnel are changed. We might scrape a win tomorrow. Don't get us wrong. Finally win a game, but them problems will keep being prominent all the time.
Definitely, and I think that if we don't if we don't spend money in January, we don't get players on loan or whatever. If we don't have a pretty substantial refresh in January, I think we will definitely go down.
Yeah.
I don't see this set of players keeping up this time.
No.
So yeah, a lot of what I'm basing me kind of, I don't even know if I'd call it confidence, but we hope on is that they'll start getting it right. Not the players, the management, the board.
Yes, of course, yeah. So do you feel that? Well, to be fair, if we haven't won a game come January, it doesn't matter anyway. I think, if I'm being really honest with you,
I think that's when you prepare. That's when you get like you look at championship players and go, right, here's what we're gonna.
He'll be classed down there, type of thing.
Here's what we're gonna like we did to a lesser extent, I suppose. Last time we went down when Gale came in, Richie came in. Shelby was already there, wasn't he? Who else came in? That's all. Like Grant Hanley, who was not a wonderful, but he did a job.
Still playing Premier League now. Somehow
he's Norwich captain.
Awful, absolutely terrible.
Yeah, awful.
Terrible.
I was actually surprised when Rafa got him in. If I'm being honest.
Kieran Clark. Kieran Clark was the one who was
and
they're perfectly good.
Absolutely.
Won the league, so even like that was one of his last kick of the game. Wasn't it? Steve Sidwell? No,
it was
Jack Grealish at Brighton. Yeah. So I think that a lot of me saying, "Oh yeah, I think we'll stay up," and I'm not as confident as I was, but I think that a lot of that is based on having a little bit of faith that they're going to have their ducks in a row, to use a bit of office speak.
As of now, I still think we'll stay up. If we don't pick up a minimum 4 points in the next 2 games, then my arse is going.
Well, we're not winning them both. I'll tell you, we'll not win the next 2 games. We might win one of them, we'll not win both.
Yeah. So we'll have to get 4 points.
I think we might get a draw tomorrow night and we'll beat Burnley at the weekend because Sean Dyche has probably got like frostbite off that, just wearing a shirt yesterday.
I was saying Kris before you got here about that, because Kris said we need 4 points minimum over the next 2, and I was saying to him, I said, Christ, I hope the 3. If it is 4, I hope the 3 comes tomorrow, because to think if we only draw tomorrow, I just again feel the pressure going into Saturday is huge. You know what I mean? And all the players will be feeling that as well. And in fairness here, the Norwich players also, them will be thinking exactly the same. Yeah. We're going to have a team who haven't won yet.
Yeah.
We've won 2 games. Them will feel probably that them. You know what I mean? You have to remember who I know the shit, but
I think Norwich is we're better bet for the win just because I think they'll be more open than Burnley are. So it'll probably give them more opportunity to counter attack.
Yeah.
Whereas Burnley, they'll sit back, be solid. They'll be everything that we're not. They'll make it difficult for us to break them down. I remember and that's when we struggle.
I know it was a while ago, and I'm not. The teams won't be the same, but that cup game we played against them, Christ, them were terrible.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we were bad. We are bad, but God Almighty, them were bad. And I thought any other team in the world would beat them on that day. We couldn't, but they were shit. And fingers crossed. I honestly think, actually, and I understand what you're saying about being hard to beat and solid and all that, but if them do play that way, we can get at them. Like I really do think we can. Whereas Norwich, I worry about that new manager thing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I should be saying that's what we've got, but going back to what you said, I am a bit worried about them having that new manager. They've already got a win under that manager.
Yeah, 2. Not the other one, last one, sorry, yeah.
To a degree, us playing at home, I think, gives them more pressure. I do feel that.
Yeah.
But fingers crossed, though, with Eddie Howe's first game, technically there, the fans will be there all 90 minutes, no matter what.
That's the thing for me.
It feels like the kind of game that if it doesn't start well, if they score in the first, if Norwich go 1 up in the first 20 minutes, they've got the Norwich got the crowd in the palm of their hand. Then, like, because what it's like in St James's when the chips
I don't know, because
the Tottenham game after the takeover, Wilson scored after 2 minutes and the crowd's up. And they killed the game off, and then I mean that was a party. It didn't take long for the crowd to kind of go silent. And
it went flat, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But against Brentford, every time they scored a goal, the crowd was up chanting, getting it back in. Even on Saturday, and I know it's an away game. You do have the away crowd do give it for 90 minutes, but there's just a bit more positivity around the crowd and wanting to encourage rather than getting on the backs of the players. So that's the thing that I've got, in my mind. Again,
the thing is, the next time the 4 of us are going to be sat around this table, there's going to be 2 games just gone by. So we could be having a completely 2 separate conversations. We could be having a conversation if we lose 2 games, or even just pick up a couple of points, where we're sat here destined for the drop. Or we could get 4-6 points out of these 2 games, and we're thinking, right, chances of staying up are a hell of a lot better than what they were.
The thing
a
is
week ago.
you cannot put it past Newcastle to do either of those things.
And like,
either come win it or lose both.
You
of
know,
them.
you know what our WhatsApp group's like, and the love a bet in that WhatsApp group. And I tell you what, this is a hard one to call because you don't know which teams are going to turn up here. Like, you really don't.
No, I think with us, you probably err on the side of negativity, or certainly caution, because we haven't won yet, and we up with Newcastle. It's just,
we've had 14 years of it as well. Where that's just been the default setting on it.
And it's a funny one where, and I think we'll get like this for players as well. And I'm not referencing John Linton here. What I'm meaning though is like, if you see a player play well, normally we're like, oh, Minty's turned a corner or whatever. Yeah. And if we win the next 2 games and we're sitting around here, we'll be popping champagne thinking everything's great and we're going to stay up. Because with us, I don't know, with as fans, we're really flip massively. Yeah. Like, everything's amazing now and we'll hit the ground running. Whereas if we lose the next 2 or we'll lose on tomorrow,
it's any less than 4.
Everyone's going to be
any
like,
less than 4 points.
That's the magic figure for me. Like in these 2 games,
I don't think you can lose either one of these games. I think if you lose one of these, especially the one tomorrow night,
Norwich,
because they're with Walter. So yeah, I agree.
How Burnley doing in the league? I'm assuming. I just kind of assume that was struggling
down the bottom as well.
Yeah,
I think they're ahead of Everton.
There's a lot of teams dropping, and that's a good thing for us. There is a lot of teams dropping. I mean, Everton's falling right in it as well.
14th,
Leeds are right down there.
Leeds
are
right in it. There's a lot of teams involved, and 6 points when you think about it. And I saw this great tweet earlier that said, if Newcastle United can drop a 12-point lead to not win the title, then you can get 6 points to get out of the relegation.
It was a good tweet, that. It made us feel really good.
It's still 20-odd games to go. It's a long way. And we've been rubbish so far, and we deserve to be where we are because we have been dreadful. 20-odd games is a long time to get. I saw someone did the maths. Did you see that one where it was you need 1.6... we need 1.28 points per game, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's equivalent of a 70-point season, wasn't it?
The next 2 games, is it not us 3 that are in the relegation zone? I'm sure Burnley's in the relegation zone.
You may be right.
I'm sure it's us, Norwich and Burnley.
Hold on,
I'm sure it is.
Hold on.
Because Leeds are fourth bottom, Watford.
I'm sure that these back-to-back games, it's relegation. Hence why it's
so we've got Norwich and Burnley are the ones above.
It was.
Then Leeds and then Watford. Obviously,
It's mental, like the way the fixtures just fell with these 3 teams obviously playing each other. And do you know what it is? My worrying thing, and I know I mentioned it a few times, if you don't pick up 3 points against Norwich, and let's say worst case scenario on a defeat tomorrow, Norwich are climbing there like
3 wins in like 5 games for them or something like that. They're on a decent run of form at the minute, by their standards at least. So there's no. I'm not particularly confident about tomorrow night, if I'm honest, because of the fact that they've started picking points up and we...
Is it not that Norwich bias that you've got as well?
I've not got a bias. It's not a... I like Norwich, but if I've never...
Push comes to shove, you always Newcastle, mate. Like, it's
not even push comes to shove. It's like, I like beans on toast, but if Amy's getting a kebab, then I'm getting a kebab. It's not...
My man.
You're not allowed kebabs when she's in the house, mate.
I'm not your cried, did I tell you that one?
No.
My birthday, 2-3 years ago, it was the day we played West Ham down at their place. Mark Noble scored a penalty, if you remember that one. Me and some of the lads were wetting their Bairn's head, so we'd got the train out to Hexham, had a few drinks. Then when you get off, you get one stop back, go for a drink. Get one stop back, go. So we did that.
It's a nightmare for pissing that, like.
I thought really bad. There's always someone misses. Yeah. Me and my mate Dean missed the train in Hexham, so we met lads later on. So one of those ones. So I got back home. I had the drink. That was my birthday, so I thought I'm gonna get a sweaty. So I got a naan bread kebab. I forget how much I'd had, but I had a load of it. I think I probably put some to one side because I'm huge. And about 5-6 o'clock next morning, I can hear like sobbing, like proper crying. I'm like, it's Amy sitting at the bottom of the bed because the chicken smelled the kebab downstairs. I mean, she was like 5 months pregnant at the time as well, like, so like things are happening to her, like, but she was like gutted.
So because she didn't have one?
No, she hates the smell of kebab meat.
Oh, sorry.
She didn't have one.
I've sat on a Sunday night.
So the smell of the kebab made her cry?
Yeah.
It was. I was actually disappointed she didn't have one.
I've sat on a Sunday night at the start of the NFL season watching Red Zone in the back garden eating a kebab with the patio doors open in the kitchen so I can see the telly. And I'm outside with a kebab just watching the box like she's gone berserk, man.
You see what I had last night? Did you see the picture?
Aye.
Mate, unbelievable.
I honestly had to go and have a shite just looking at the picture.
What about this one? So Ian Dayton's just said a Scottish pal of his had a kebab pie last week and said it was unreal.
Best in the world.
Kebab pie.
You had a kebab pasty from Milligan's?
Yes, great.
Nice.
Chili sauce.
Nice, yeah.
I'm good at the one on Gallowgate's closed down now, though.
It has, aye.
So right,
You still want to top
Wild.
Northumberland Street.
if we get the predictions right, for the next, we'll do the next 2 games because, like I said, we're not going to see each other before then, unless it's at the match. We're not going to be sat in front of you, lovely people. Mark, how many points are we getting out of the next 2?
4.
4.
I'm going 4.
Mr. Best.
3, maybe 1. I'm not confident at all.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're that bad at the back. I can see Thibaut Pukki rubbing his hands. He's had a bad start, needs goals. Playing Newcastle.
Dr. Newcastle's, Deka. How many points are we getting out of the next 6?
What did you say?
4.
6.
6.
I'm going for 6, yeah. Just to be nice, I'm going for 6.
Do you believe that, though?
Let's do it. No, let's do it. No, I've got faith in.
So that's your heart. What's
Come
your
on.
head saying, though?
None. no,
I'm with Mark on this one. I'm with Mark. I'm going to say 4, but I hope the 3 come against Norwich.
There's a lot of confidence in the comments, like.
Is it? Good,
Yeah.
good.
A lot of people saying 6.
I'm not feeling that at all. I love it. Obviously, I really hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I just
Besty, you're right. For
bad
the way
time,
you
it's a
feel.
bad time to play Norwich. And we did the double over Burnley last season, didn't we? So Maximan scored at home and away. Both really good goals, actually.
It's not the one where he got brought on as a sub.
It
He
was.
actually tortured them.
Changed the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I think we'll get beat 1-0. He made it 2. He scored one and made one.
Yeah.
Set one up for Jacob Murphy, I think it was. Edge of the box.
It's nice, like just tomorrow, that I feel, he could really do some damage. At home, fans will be hopefully behind everybody, and
Yeah.
I just feel it's his moment, or to really try and show up. Do you know what I
need
mean?
him to turn up soon. Like.
I know, yeah.
Again, I mean, he had a good start of the season.
Oh,
got
he's
3
been.
goals.
I mean, he scored the other week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we just need that.
Yeah.
Actually, he was really good against Brentford.
He was class,
It was
yeah,
just
yeah.
that game on Saturday, didn't it?
The temperature worries us tomorrow night.
No, that's a fair comment. No, that's a fair comment. Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't think he'd fancy it in cold games if he
Are
gets
we talking
rattled
about
early.
Saint?
Yeah.
Have his gloves on, man. It's fine.
He's normally dressed like a mummy every week.
That's how my mum used to dress. Generally, like pashminas and shawls and stuff like them.
Depends if they're middle class or.
Oh, my mum was on the Scotch estate, aye.
I know you've mentioned the game, but do you think Fernandez will be back in tomorrow?
Yes.
Can I
Yeah, I
have a
think he
guess?
will as well. Like you said earlier, I
It's a
think
big call.
I think he has to.
I think Graham Jones has been very complimentary of me. Maybe he's gone like, he's alright. Him like not Graham Jones, Eddie Howe, keep doing that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm taking from that. The fact that he's spoken positively about him today in his presser and called him out, and he's done that the last few games with certain players.
Shelby
That
did
he's
it in
had
the
in
blind,
there,
didn't he?
and then they've stepped up and really shown the worth. So I'm confident he's bringing Feddy back in tomorrow.
I think I mentioned this in the. Sorry, Bestie.
No, go
I've said this out ourselves the last few weeks that he's vocal in all the wrong ways. I don't see him organised at any point in the game. Honestly, I don't. I see him putting his hand up for offside
Well,
on
I was going
Saturday.
to say, look at him for the goal.
But
Do you know what I
like,
mean?
with him playing the centre of a 3, right? He should be able to see the game. As good as a
Yeah.
goalkeeper. And you know what I mean? He should be able to see the game well enough to organise and understand when people need. I never even see him look at Richie and tell him to step up or anything. I never see that.
No.
Whereas to be fair to Fernandez, and again, I'm not saying he's Beckenbauer, but when I have seen Fernandez play, I do see him organising. I think you've commented a lot about Manquillo, wasn't it? A lot of times when he was to right to him, he would be telling him everything, where to go.
Aye.
I never see Lascelles do that. I really don't. And hopefully Fernandez can come in tomorrow, I hope, and give some guidance at the back type of thing.
I've been saying for a long time that Lascelles was a better captain than he was a footballer. It wasn't how well he played. It was more how well he made others play. And that's gone now. That's
It's gone.
totally.
It's gone.
That hasn't been there for a
couple of
season
years,
and
I'd
a
say.
half, if not more.
What I was going to say though, I noticed that Maximan lost his headband after the goal against Brentford.
Chuck
Yeah.
it on the thing.
Didn't wear it against Arsenal. He was shy. Do you reckon it's like Samson type of thing where he's had his hair cut and now he's just. Do you reckon there's some sort of thing in that headband, like some like.
Well, if-
now Vieira used to put Vicks on his chest.
didn't know
Do you reckon
that, no.
he's got something in that head. Like
Well, if
soaking.
the fella in the Gallowgate that caught it when he threw it
Yeah.
in can hand it back on tomorrow night, that would be handy.
We'll give him that one.
He's not allowed to. Advertising rules, isn't it?
Turn it inside out.
Uchi-
Iguch.
Iguch. Yeah. So if anyone does have any questions, we'll go for another 5-10 minutes. So we'll straight in with the questions. Scott says, who takes a captain's armband? So obviously the Lascelles is missing it.
Shelby.
Shelby, isn't
Shelby,
it?
vice
Fernandez for
captain.
me, like.
But
It would be for me.
Shelby would be
Yeah,
Fernandez.
He's
is
vice
the-
captain, Shelby, isn't he? So
Yeah, he
it
is,
can't,
aye,
It can't be Fernandez. Though,
You can't physically not play a player and all of a sudden put him in
You
goal.
can't.
No, captain.
You just can't.
Yeah,
You just
I
can't.
It'll be a hell of a statement.
Do you know who I would give it to Wilson? Like,
was just going to say Wilson.
Wilson's who I would
Wilson's
give
got
it
that kind of.
Yep.
He's got
We
he's got
asked this
captaincy
question.
minerals.
So me and Mark have been doing a phone in on a Wednesday night, and this was one of the questions we asked last week or the week before, saying who would you like to be captain if it wasn't Lascelles. Eddie Howe comes in, absolutely rips everything up and goes, right, Lascelles, you're not captain anymore. Who's your captain? A lot of people forgot about Wilson. There wasn't many people said Wilson until we started dropping that little seed in there.
It's because you associate the captaincy with historically with central defenders, don't you? Or somebody that's in the middle of the park where they're having that influence. You don't get that. Yeah, but you don't get that many centre forward like captains other than like Kane, Aubameyang. That's probably
Messi.
the only two that
He's not a striker, but I get
that's
it.
only two I can
Just want about
Ronaldo.
think
Aubameyang,
of.
yeah. No, I think I do agree with that. I do, because I always think a centre midfield or perhaps a centre half.
Yep.
I always think a goalkeeper is a strange one to a degree because he's just got no impact.
That's the
further
thing.
forward. But I just there's something about Wilson. I don't know if it's because of the way he acts on the field. He's a bit of an arse. I just feel giving him the armband, I feel would even get more out of him as a person if you give him it. Do you know what I mean?
The only worry
player,
is he
sorry.
gets himself into enough trouble
He does,
with
right.
officials when he hasn't got the armband on. Imagine what he would be like wearing it. I mean, he's a booking away from a suspension as well.
How he didn't get
picks
booked
it
on
up and
Saturday.
He's
How he didn't get
constantly in.
Said the
in
referee was
air,
awful,
isn't
didn't
he?
they?
So
No, he should have been booked. He was just. The thing is with Wilson is he struggles. I think he gets frustrated like I do when I watch that he's on his own, man, and we're just lumping the ball along, and he's trying his best to be physical. And let's be fair, I mean, if you're being physical, it normally goes against the attacker. It just seems to.
It does.
There was one where he was through on goal. It was on the right hand side. I think Shelby played a ball over. It might have been on somebody, and they were wrestling for it. And the lad fell on the deck. He had a shot in the end. Didn't touch him.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And obviously
The
that
lad was trying to obstruct me. Just
exactly.
That was early on in the game, wasn't it?
It was very early on,
Yeah.
And
You knew from that challenge that nothing was going to go our way because
unless you're
he wasn't pulling any shoulder or anything.
nothing.
He was just trying to skip around, and the players obviously felt a presence behind him. Went as soon as I get a tiny little touch, I'm down.
I remember watching Kraft was doing the same kind of thing on the sideline. I thought, well, you can't give a free kick for that. And then Kraft elbowed,
literally
totally
clattered somebody,
twatted him in the face. I thought, that's the difference.
Ran into them. This is what I mean about
ridiculous.
Kraft. Like, it's what I mean. Like, that.
But you've got an issue. You've got Kraft, you've got Lascelles, and you've got Richie. So all of them, basically, 3 out of the 4 or the 5 you're playing are a nightmare, man. They're mistakes.
I can't help but feel Richie's getting a short straw today because
Mate, every goal is over his side. Nearly every goal. Nearly every goal.
He's, as we mentioned before, he's a right winger playing left back, and he's got zero protection in front of him. Zero protection.
But we're not personally saying it's right. We're just saying it's not his position, and he shouldn't be playing in that. He shouldn't be playing
that, but we haven't. That's the situation that we're in. For that goal, I'm more concerned about Lascelles not picking up the man than Richie.
Whoa.
You're looking at that line across.
That's a dreadful line, mate. That's poor, that.
Richie's obviously the furthest man back, but he's picking up.
He doesn't have to, though. We don't do that, though.
But he's the left back. He's got to pick up their right winger.
You keep the line, man. You just looked on he's offside. The winger's offside.
The winger had the ball. He's coming at him.
No,
but Lascelles is there, and they've got the player inside of him. Lascelles doesn't make any attempt to pick that man
if
up,
anything,
which is his man.
If there's anything
he's the
like
striker.
Lascelles should be telling Richie to hold the line. That would be, I think, Richie.
But why doesn't Lascelles go with the striker?
Because then there's 2 of them playing one side.
No, but Richie is up against their left winger. The striker is between Richie and Lascelles. As a centre half, you pick up your striker. The strikers came from one side of Lascelles to the other into that gap.
Deka did took a screen grab, put a line across. I think you did it. I think it was your handiwork. And the line's like 45 degrees more or less.
100%.
Kraft on the halfway line more or less. So Lascelles, for me, it's Richie.
But Richie's picking up the left winger. The left winger's the man on the ball who plays the ball through to Lascelles. There you go.
Who's he picking up there? Tell us.
So he's coming.
Tell me who he's
coming for the winger, isn't he?
Look at this. He's not. Look at this here. Who is Richie picking up there? Nobody.
He's covering the winger.
What do you mean, Mike? If he's covering the winger, he'd be in line with the back 4. He'd be here. He'd be there. That's where he should be. He shouldn't be back there.
But
You're
Oh,
struggling,
Mark.
saying that, but-
Mark,
No,
you're way
that's-
off,
that's-
man.
Mark, that's horseshit. That, mate.
Why is Lascelles not picking?
That's
his
absolute
man up?
fucking nonsense. Mark.
Yes, why is
He's-
Lascelles
Richie
not picking his man up?
There's two players.
at least there.
There's two
But
players.
Richie's not going to come
Oh.
from there across to pick up the defender.
Unbelievable.
There's two players closer at the winger than Richie.
Exactly.
Richie's got
yeah.
no business. Richie
just
should
no
know the
business
line there.
doing
Like Richie does
That's
not
his
need
position.
it.
He's left back.
He doesn't need to.
That's who he's going to pick up.
Who's ahead of him? It's a Maximin's there, and I think I can't tell who's in the middle.
Maxi's tracking the run.
He's about 3 yards off the winger, Maximin.
Yeah, here's my phone.
That's-
look, hold, look.
Richie's not addressing the winger at all there.
Mate, come on.
Right,
Well,
I've
he is,
just
that's why he's waiting
for
for
everybody
us to
who's
line, isn't he?
listening, I apologise for the audio. Everybody who's watching live, you can see the photo on the
Oh,
screen
he's the
now.
foreman, yeah.
What they're talking
That's
about.
good, that,
okay, so Mark, you're claiming that Richie is covering the winger.
That's what he's going. He's that left side.
Who's
that winger
who's the
coming
player
up.
in the other winger?
It's Maximin.
It's Maxi.
All right,
isn't it?
okay.
Yeah.
So is Maxi not covering the winger?
Well, he's tracking him.
But a hell of
He's
a lot
behind him, isn't he?
Well, he's a hell of
He's
a
not
lot
going to be
closer.
able to. He's not going to be able to tackle him from there.
That ball looks like that's leaving that winger's foot.
Nah, he's dribbling it up the line.
If
But why
Richie is it,
all I'm saying here is why isn't Lascelles tracking the striker? That's his man. He's meant to be marking.
So,
and he's
no, no,
nowhere
no.
near him.
No.
How many times do
But
we see
because-
the strikers go?
I think-
because Lascelles probably
I
thinks he'd
think
be
the problem
offside.
is-
I think that there is a bit of truth in that. I mean, Lascelles,
But I think because Richie's so far back,
yeah. Richie being that far
that
back
player's
is
in an
allowed.
offside position. If Richie's
Yep.
in line with the rest of them,
Richie's that far back that it's allowed the striker in that room. Where if he hasn't fallen that far back, Lascelles doesn't need to worry about him.
Exactly
Aye,
right.
but Lascelles, he's came across Lascelles. We're looking at it still, so you can't see
That ball's
how
leaving his foot
how
there.
the move
Yeah, it is.
develops.
it's gone.
Because
The
they're
ball's gone.
they weren't in a line in the first place.
Mark, that ball's
Yeah.
gone though. He's not dribbling that. That ball's gone.
That's being
He's
passed.
about to
That.
touch it. He's about to. What my point would
Well,
be?
he might well be, but all I'm saying is if Lascelles is closer to his man, he's at least got a chance to.
But then
to put a
by
challenge.
Richie's
put a
body there,
put a
it looks like
pressure on
Richie's
him.
still running
He's
off
still
on an
going
angle.
back. He's still going back.
He's not going towards the play. He's still going off.
He's going across to the side.
He's going off. He's going towards the corner flag, in man.
All I'm saying is he's. It's almost like Lascelles is getting off scot free
But
for not picking up
He's
the
not,
defender.
man. We've been calling
He's not
ourselves
getting
worse
scot-free.
than all night.
But I mean specifically in this.
Took the
in this
caps on,
goal.
man, off him.
no, I get. Listen,
think the
I'm
problem
trying to
is
be nice to Marky. I'm trying.
Because of that,
I'm not.
everybody
doing this
else's
to try and
reaction is a domino effect
defend
because of Richie's position.
If Richie is,
Aye, but when you see the move kind of happening, there isn't a line there.
Mate,
It's
I
on
bet you
it's on a
if you
break, so
watch-
they're
I
all
know-
over the pitch
I
anyway.
know we're looking at a freeze frame, but I bet you if you watch that video, it'd probably look even worse than that freeze frame.
just when you're
No,
saying he's
because they-
covering the winger, I don't. What do you mean by cover? He's about 10 yards away from him. What is he
So
covering?
he's going out because he's coming up the wing, so he's going out to cover the run to stop him coming forward.
But he's,
Go towards.
he's running back. He's running towards his own goal line.
I know.
He's not running backwards. If he's running backwards, he's not going to be facing the line and
Richie's
facing
running
the player.
towards.
He's running towards the corner flag.
He's not.
You can't see his legs.
He's going. He's
How
coming
can you not
across.
see that there?
He's coming across to the side. Look at
He's-
the way he's going.
he's-
He's coming over here. He's going here, isn't he?
He's running more towards the 120, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He is
He's going
behind
to the
the
shoe.
shoe.
Is that a
so
shoe?
He's going to cover.
So what's that doing
He's
though?
going to cover the
5 years
the
every
winger
game. I
coming
think
up.
might be
Right, just
alright.
one point I want to make very quickly. If Richie is in line with Lascelles and pretty much Manquillo, he's offside, and then Richie's in a much better place to cover that winger.
100%.
That's how it's
I'm
Richie's
not
fault,
disagreeing
and that's
with
how
that.
it's Richie's fault.
No, but if Lascelles goes with his man, it doesn't matter that Richie's playing him onside. Because
I'm sorry,
Lascelles
I
can-
can't blame Lascelles for that one. I just can't.
But if that's
Just
the
can't
case,
do
you
it.
can't blame any offside on the person that's keeping that player on. Like you should be able to. That player should catch up to the person that's letting everybody else.
There's
offside.
times I've seen Lascelles be Richie this season. I've just called Lascelles. It's Lascelles' fault. He's played him onside.
I'm
Richie, that
Lascelles-
shit there,
Lascelles
Richie's
is
at
getting
fault.
off
That shit.
scot-free.
He's not.
He's not at
He's
all.
not. But
well, that's what he is.
He's not.
not-
Richie's more. Lascelles is partly to blame, but Richie for
But there you are,
if Richie doesn't.
I'm happy with that.
If Richie doesn't
I'm
make that
happy with
run,
that.
if Richie doesn't, you're saying he's trying to address the winger, but he's running.
Away? He's not. He's
He is. He's
going
running.
out- He's going out.
He's
to
running
the
towards a
left.
corner flag, more or less.
He's
If he holds a flat run there, then he's offside. And
I guarantee you, Richie hasn't got a clue where the other defenders are there.
it's
Hasn't got a clue.
because Richie doesn't want to engage a winger. He doesn't want to engage him because he's so shit scared of getting taken on, which has been a problem with the defence for a long time now. They'll go back and go back and go back because I think, well, if he gets past us, they're through here. And that's been a problem with our defending for years. And that's Richie's doing that there. He's thinking, right, I'm not going to tackle him. What I'm going to do is try and block him off. And by doing so, he's let himself go deep. The striker's gone fucking champion. This is great. Listen, Lascelles should be telling him. Lascelles should be screaming at him. Hold your line.
Or the next bit, there was another person. Is it Shea? I'm not sure. There's another player.
It's Fabian, I think.
He should also be shouting at Richie, come on. Because I watched it back a few times, and Richie does actually pretty much start with them, but progressively just goes away and away and away and away. And then
he doesn't check his shoulder.
At all. No. But again, and that is, and I'm not.
And that's why he needs to be shouting. Lascelles needs to be shouting at him.
I know, but
I think that is right. Yeah,
but that's why Richie should not be playing that position, because he doesn't know how to operate in that position. I'll go back to Tottenham away last season when he let the ball go past him, and Lucas Moura scored. It's just not his position, so we'll get caught in that area constantly in games.
To be fair, Adam's just probably commenting there saying the linesman can't even kick over Richie.
No. It's
he's behind him.
He's directly with him.
He's behind him. Oh, come on! The line's perfect.
That's because as a linesman, you go in line with their last player, because that's when you're then looking at.
Well, he's not in line.
Offside. He's in between, because you can't get with Richie.
He's looking along the line at their striker, isn't he?
Because Richie's still running.
Well, I wish Richie was the linesman, if I'm honest. But no, you're wrong, Mark. I'm sorry. You know.
But I'm not wrong, because you've agreed with us.
I haven't. Not once.
I think you were defending Richie though.
No, I'm just saying. I am saying Lascelles is getting off scot-free.
No, but we were happy to say Richie's majority at fault. But yes, Lascelles does take a bit of the blame.
That's fine.
I think you.
I'm happy with that.
All right, okay.
No, I'm happy.
It seemed
with
like
that.
you were defending Richie though.
It did.
No, I'm defending. I'm not. Defending's the wrong word. All I'm saying is he's not entirely to blame.
You've defended Richie more than what Richie defended from that winger.
He's primarily to blame.
Only because you're pointing the whole finger at Richie.
Because he played him on side.
That's a knock-on effect for everybody else.
Then you've just sat and said there that Lascelles needs to. So you kind of have both.
Well, you need to be Lascelles needs to be faster to catch up to the thing, but he wouldn't have to be faster if Richie was.
Well, he wouldn't.
With everybody
He would
else.
have had to be faster if he tracked his man and gone with him. But he doesn't.
He would.
But if he lets the striker let me play in between him and the fullback.
All right.
Constantly.
All right.
That's what I'm
saying. So let me play slightly devil's advocate. Let's say Richie was where he should be. Okay, where I believe he should be, and Lascelles did decide to track his striker. Is that a good thing to do then? Because it's absolutely not a good thing to do.
Well,
are you insane?
How's it not?
Because he'd be offside. Everyone would be in a line. You don't follow the striker. You're playing him on side.
Right, Matty's put a comment in.
He's looking straight across. He can see Richie.
Matty's put a comment in saying, as a linesman, you stay on line with the defence's last player, surely.
I thought that as well, yeah. Yeah, not the striker. You play the defence, because that's how you have his offside on.
I don't know. We could go on all night about this.
You stay with the last man, which is the defender.
Because he's looking whether the striker's on or offside, isn't he?
So we've got confirmation. Graham Dougal has just said he's just watched the highlights back. Richie's still running back.
I think Richie was running back to the corner flag even when he scored.
Not at the point of that screenshot.
Yes, his legs are running.
You can see he's
insane, Mark. Insane. It's just insane. You can see the way his body, he's facing. Move on.
All I'm saying is Lascelles can do better. That's all I'm saying.
But you're also kind of saying Richie's doing that wrong. Almost.
Not.
But you were saying Richie's. I can't. The words were he's covering the winger. What do you mean by covering the winger?
You've said the linesman's not tonight. You said Richie's running square. You said the shells will be picking up.
You've all sat there and agreed. You've all sat there and agreed that Lascelles should do better. That's all I was saying.
Mark, just a minute.
That's all I'm saying.
Saint should have done better, shouldn't he, for that goal?
To be fair, he could have stopped the cross.
Oh, yeah, we're gone.
Yeah,
that's what he should be doing. If he's not running that way, which he is obviously, then he engages the winger. He stops the cross because he's gone so deep. Same as the cross that came in against the Bournemouth's, Brentford's third. Always get Bournemouth and Brentford mixed up. Brentford's third last week. Richie's just fucking. He's nowhere near the man. Crying out across the ball, didn't he bother? And then it's Murphy at the back post, champion. I don't need to mark anyone. And Carl Darlow saying, I don't need to pick the ball up in the 6-yard box.
Yeah, because you're playing wingers at fullback.
It's correct. Totally right.
Them two goals against Brentford to go back were both identical in terms of an issue.
Yep.
And it's the same issue week in, week out.
Do you know what Laura said about you?
I can see.
What you say?
Laura said Mark should get a job on Talk Sport.
But you've agreed with this?
Laura's on your side with a diehard thing as well.
Get this off was to saying is
defending Richie.
No.
You did?
I wasn't.
Watch his back.
You're putting all of the blame on Richie. That is what I said. I said you're putting all the blame on Richie.
Watch this back.
Is what I said.
When you get in, watch his back.
That is exactly what I said.
You do not criticize
Richie is getting too much flack.
No, you do not. Yeah. But then you start defending him, saying that he's the one.
No, I didn't. I was getting at Lascelles.
He's not running backwards. He's running square.
You said he was
I can't remember. That's because
He's engaging the winger.
because he then started arguing with what he was doing. I'm telling you,
He's
the reasons why he was doing that.
He's engaging the winger by running away from him.
I think you panicked when you seen that photo. I seen a bit of panic.
That was a double down. That was right.
I can look at that and say, what he's trying to do? He's wary of the winger.
ball's left his
coming
foot.
there.
I know it has left his foot though.
That's it.
What do you mean by wary? He's 10 yards away from him. He's almost like, if you made a wall, that's how far he is away. You've got to get close to him.
Lascelles have done better.
Yes.
There you go. That's all I wanted to hear, and that was the whole point.
Kind of know,
of
mate, to
what
be
I
honest.
said.
I'm kind of know.
I think you were trying
I'm
to
kinda
get
know.
us to shift the blame onto
I
Lascelles.
wasn't.
I think you were.
Anyway, move on.
I think we're done, lads. I think we're done. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you do want to become a member of the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel, you can do so. There is a link on the homepage when you go on there. A lot of people are struggling to find it, but it's on there, apparently.
It's the join button.
It's the join button. So
Says
click on the join button. It is $2.99 or $4.99 a month, depending on whatever you want to contribute. You do get access to the Telegram group. Hear more of these arguments in the Telegram group, mainly about Die Hard not being a Christmas movie.
It is 100%
Something
a
else
Christmas
Mark's
movie.
wrong about.
I'm right.
And that's us done. Well done to Josh for winning the ball.
Yes, well done, Josh.
Josh is in the Telegram group.
He is.
Yeah,
He's
he
put a
was
comment in before he is.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice
My
one.
Yeah.
favourite Christmas film is the one where they go to that log cabin.
People won't have it.
They do! They go to a log cabin!
It's a Chipmunk's Christmas.
Sorry, everybody's yes. Bessie's just been the table. Thanks, everybody. See you later. And
Thanks very much.
Die Hard's a Christmas film.
Stop.
Richie's our fault.